Hi kids, you've probably seen my first video which runs us through the latest iMovie. Today what I want to do is just work through some of the very first things that you'll do when you want to set up a video. So this is kind of for beginners. If you know what you're doing already, you might want to just go ahead and skip this one. Alright, let's get started. Last time I ran you through just some of the basics. We went through it really quick and I made a lot of assumptions that you knew what was going on. Today I'm going to spend a little bit more time explaining everything that I'm doing. So, right up here, this is the viewer, and this is where you're going to see things that you're working on, and you'll be able to kind of see them in real time. Over on the left, we've got our media that we will be working with. That includes any videos or photos that you've got on your computer already imported into the iPhoto or Aperture library if you've got that. The way that Apple has this arranged this time around is a little bit confusing, and honestly I'm not sure what their logic is between having projects right here and then also they've got this new updated projects folder in the iMovie library. I'm not sure what their reasoning is, so I'm going to just ignore that. Our projects, these, if you've got videos that you've already worked on, you'll see them here when you click on projects. So these are all movies and things that I've done. If you've got some events that you've already imported footage into, those are going to either be right up here and all your events, or down here in your iMovie library. Again, I'm not sure about the organization there. I'm hoping that Apple is going to release some documentation that can help us figure that out a little bit more. But for right now, I'm going to just use the events as they are in the iMovie library, so I'm going to be working with them from here. So we know where our media is. I'm going to assume that you already know how to get it onto your computer. If you don't, there are plenty of other tutorials available to walk you through that. These events, let's go ahead and start by making a new one specific to the project that we are making right now. So I'm just going to go into this blank space and right click and click New Event. And since I like making bike videos, I'm going to call this one Half Pipe. Okay. Hit enter and that's created, and when you click on it you'll notice that there's nothing in there. So we just need to import something in. We can walk through the importing feature, but honestly this is the way to do it. Just drag it in. So as you can see, just go ahead and drag it right there onto the event name. If you drag it down here where you'd think it would go, it's not going to go. But we're not here to find fault. We're here to get things done. I'm going to go ahead and close my Finder window. Okay. Now, this is not my project timeline, okay? So I haven't created a project yet. This is just footage that I've got. So let's make a new project by creating. So let's click up here on create. I'm going to create a movie. And again, I'm going to select no theme. I'm going to call it the hip because that's what's going on. Okay, so now that we've got our project created and we've got it titled, you're going to see the project down here, and this is the movie that we are creating. Notice that there's nothing there yet. Up here, this is media that we are going to put into the project. So let's go ahead and we're going to select something interesting. As I drag my cursor across here, this is called skimming, and you can turn on the sound if that's helpful. But what you can do is slowly skim through and find the interesting part that you want, and then click and drag to select that interesting part. And then you'll see that that's highlighted in yellow. And I can either click and drag that in, or I can just hit this little plus and it pops it in there for me already. And I've got one other piece that's interesting, so let's grab that too. Just like that. And this one I'll drag in so that you can see. Once it's in the timeline here, you are able to work with it in a lot of ways. You can select by clicking, you can drag things around to move them. And as one of my viewers mentioned, it's really hard to see these sometimes. If it looks like this, grab this little slider right here and it will expand your timeline out so that you can get a little bit more specific in there. And if you can't see these tiny little things, this is a new feature that iMovie 10.0 has introduced. You can actually grow the clip size. So go ahead and play with that and get comfortable with it. But I was happy to see that because sometimes it's really, really difficult to see what you're working with. You can show waveforms that shows your audio if you're trying to get something. It's actually helpful to grab the right parts. Okay. One last thing I wanted to show you. Since I created this event, this half pipe event, and I created this project in that event, I'm not limited to using material from that event. So if I've got this piece here and I want to take it, I can grab this just the same way and drag it and pop it in. So I could do that. But since this project was started with half pipe, you can see this little clapboard icon here. And also it shows up like the project that's associated with that event. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning of this tutorial, I just wanted this to be a very simple kind of beginner's crash course. Like if you've never used iMovie before, this will at least allow you to put a few clips together and publish them. So let's put our playhead, this bar right here that I'm working with. This is called the playhead. So I'm going to put that at the beginning and I'm going to press my space bar and that starts the movie playing. And then I can see it play up in the viewer. Lovely. Okay, and that's the whole video right there. If I want to share this or publish it and create, a clip instead of just an iMovie project, I click up here on Share, and I'm going to do a file, so I can just export it as a file. And then iMovie gives me some options here. This is one that I think is broken right now. So I don't know why it's only saying Mac and PC compatibility, or if that means that it is compatible with everything above, including Mac and PC. I'm not sure what they're doing. What options I do want to play with here, this is going to impact the file size. So you'll see that the file size will change quite dramatically. For what I need, that's it. But this will change the size of the output. So I just go ahead and hit next and hit save, and we've got a video now. It's that simple. Thanks for tuning in. I hope that you found this information helpful in some way. Please subscribe, like the video, tell your friends, and go out there and make some killer movies. I'm Mitch Davis. Have a good day.